Buddy, can we stop? Please stop saying to women who question things happening that a woman is involved, and you question things that you're not like a girl's girl, or you're not for women, or you're a woman against women, especially when it comes to millionaire and billionaires problems. You should be questioning things, and you should be thinking about things, and I have questions. That doesn't mean because I'm questioning Blake's claim that I'm not a girl's girl. And you know, this happened to me buddy, a year ago. I think I made a video about Pearl because she had said some comments attacking childless women, unmarried women, single women, and I had to clap back where's your ring, girl, you know? And so many people came for me I was attacking a woman, I was against women, I'm not a girl's girl, and that's just not the case, you know? And right now, I am actively trying to change my way of thinking. And for a long time, my mindset was, I hate men, all men are bad. And though I still do think not all men, but always a man in a lot of cases, I also don't think that all women are good and all men are evil. And that's crazy for me to say because for the longest time, my narrative in my mind was I hate men, I hate all men are bad. And even after just talking to my mom, she was like, well, you don't hate all men, you mistrust all men. And then that also got me thinking about just thinking and questioning things about my own bias and my own experiences and my personal bias and how I put that out into the world, and now how that probably changes a lot of relationships that I've had and that I'm going to have, and I'm actively, consciously trying to change my heart, really, and my viewpoints on things, because I do have a lot of great men in my life. I work with a lot of great men professionally, and I am actively trying to rewire myself because of the potential future relationships, professionally, personally, as friends, as business partners, and as lovers. And what does that say for me to automatically assume things that were completely misleading and biased in the New York Times on Blake's claim without questioning things, and then also read Justin's claim and also have questions on both sides? I think there's something definitely happened on both sides, and I don't know if we're ever gonna get the truth. Buddy, I don't think the truth is ever gonna come out. I think some shit happened between them. I think at one point they were really close enough for her to invite him in the trailer, close enough for him to talk about his religion and God and share his personal experiences, and then something happened, and then they weren't. And I think there's skeletons in both closets, and I don't know if we're ever gonna get the truth. And at the end of the day, these are millionaires and billionaires fighting over hundreds of millions of dollars. And to be really honest is, I already made this video, and TikTok deleted it. The app was kind of tripping, and then when I went back to it, it was gone. And I don't know. I'm just questioning things, and I think everyone should be questioning things, because when there's stories this big and it's huge and it's shoved down your throat and it's everywhere you see, and you cannot read the New York Times article and not think that that was completely misleading and biased, especially when Justin comes with his receipts, which she's had. However, Justin's receipts don't negate Blake's claim. At any point, she could have felt like maybe they were super comfortable together and then they weren't. And then if that was addressed and not changed behavior, she has a right. You can... The whole thing is messy. But what I'm actively trying to do is take my bias out of it, especially when it comes to this sort of thing, because what Blake is claiming, I take very serious, and it is very serious. And as a filmmaker and a writer, producer, and director, and as someone who is actively have filed a lawsuit against a major corporation for a toxic work environment, the parallels are you know, like, I just have a lot of questions on both sides, and that doesn't make me not a girl's girl or against women. I just think there are a lot of fabrications, and I think there's a lot of manipulation going on, and I think both PR teams are working overtime. And a harassment that started with me at work actually was by women, and when I was all trusting in a girl's girl with women, a woman was hired as a manager at the hotel I worked at, and I openly trusted her and was her buddy and her girlfriend, and a lot of people told me not to, that she was cray cray and blah 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 blah, and I was like, no way, you know, I'm a girl's girl, she's not like that with me. And then behind my back purposely tried to destroy me, and then I tolerated that. I reported it so many times, and then when the harassment continued by men, this time by one particular man who I reported multiple times, the women who are in charge of that hotel, the directors of that hotel who are women who are supposed to protect me, attacked me for reporting, attacked me for being harassed. So I don't think that all women and all men can fit into either category. I think that everyone, I don't know. And for all of 2024, for the majority of the last half of the year, I didn't trust nobody, men and women. So after therapy and after writing down a lot of statements and narration that I had in my head, I'm actively trying to rewire that. And I don't know, but I am a girl's girl for girls. And I don't know, it's just so weird. I don't think, I think a lot of people have bias against Justin because he's such an advocate for women, and they're like, oh, I knew it, how can he be such an advocate for women, he's really a monster. And it's like, well, but maybe not. Maybe there are good men out there who do advocate for women, and at the end of the day, don't we as women want men who are actively advocating for women? And it could possibly be true that there's other things going on, and maybe the woman in this story maybe is claiming falsehoods or stretching the truth, or I just think it's very strange. I have a lot of questions, especially when it comes to the set and the ongoing harassment that is claimed to be happening on the set. And that is only because Blake has openly admitted in interviews during the press release that she had control of a lot of things on set. She took control. She even said in one interview, I had my hands in so many things on the set. You are a producer and you were giving an executive producer title. You have a responsibility as the producer on that set to ensure safety for everyone. And if these things were ongoing and happening, they should have been stopped immediately, because there were other girls on that set, there were other women on that set, and they deserve to be protected. And if this was happening, it should have been stopped. If these things were happening to other women on the set, those women could sue all the producers involved, including Blake Lively. So just as a professional standpoint and a personal standpoint, there was a responsibility there to stop it. And I do think, and this is, I do think that if Blake's PR would have worked and her hair care line would have taken off and everyone would have been Team Blake at the end of this, these complaints wouldn't have seen the light of day. And that kind of makes me question a lot of things. Because if these were happening regardless of PR, it should have been reported, it should have been continually reported, and the set should have stopped. So I think you should just be questioning everything, and whether that's questioning the woman in this case or the man in this case, I think only time will tell, and I don't think we'll ever get the truth. But I think that we should stop saying women who question things that are happening in the media and by huge PR teams, and by millionaires and by the Hollywood elite, that they're not pro-woman because they're questioning women. I don't know how to say it, but anyway, my first video was probably better, but this is what you get. Thanks, TikTok. Just kidding.